So, hier hinten die Schulter und dann könnt ihr quasi, wenn ihr auch so ein paar Planeten, und dann könnt ihr hier hinten
There is plan, of course. We don't make one line on the wall without a plan, but it doesn't make sense to plan too much before seeing the place, to see the atmosphere, to see what really is going on with the essence. You can plan by a photo, but it's not the same like in the place.
It takes us the time we'll have a coffee in front of the wall to come up with a plan. That's for us, it's just fun and most freedom that we can do, that we can have. 12 years of working together has proven many times that that's the best way to do it. And of course, when we do really big commissions or work with big donors or something, we have to show a sketch, but here it wasn't necessary, so we just jumped right into the subject. And also it sort of developed during our the time spent, and that's when I look at the piece now, I think we did the best job we could do and represent our work, because it really looks exactly like us. When we walked into the space and we were totally sure we need one big person, and let's make it even bigger, let's make one big face. So it was kind of this thing where it was, when we were working there, when we just arrived, it was more men than women. And it just kind of felt like we need a guy's face. Wasn't it kind of like this, like, yeah, it has to be a guy's face.
Some questions? What do you think?
Yeah, you asked the question.
It just felt like Ernest was a good representation, and also Ernest's face fit very well, but he has those very dreamy eyes, and his art is very delicate. So when you want a representation of a street artist, I think he just kind of looks like he's a really good guy for that. He's nice and gentle, and politically and everything we're pretty close. So I think it was nice to have someone at hand.
But it's not about making a monument for him.
No, it's not.
It's more like that we integrate him in our work, so that we use his facial features in kind of an freestyle way. Of course, if I take the light and shadow from his eyes, it will looks like his eyes. So it's not him, but it's an HERAKUT illustration based on him.
We really, I don't know, we love to be surprised, and that's the way we work. When I do something on the work, he will return to the piece and be surprised what I changed, and then he starts with his shift. I'll come back and be surprised what he did. So I guess that we would rather let changes happen, I think. It's still a perfect immersion. You don't even have to talk about your work. You really just know what to do. And that's still what I believe is so good about HERAKUT, really, is that we have our specialties, and it's never in the way of my specialty. It's not in his way, the other way around. So it's still an addition to one another, and yeah, this kind of functions well.
Nothing to add from my side.
Creatures we have with the all of our early creatures, they all wore masks or costumes, and after 12 years we sometimes still have them come up. And then I think it was at a show we did in New York, or a little before that, must have been 2000. No, it was 2009. Yeah, now I remember. It was 2009 where we first did this creature. This guy wearing a monster hat, and it had all these eyes in it. And I called him Seymour, like C-S-E-E, Moore, and Seymour. And he was very wary, and he was this mask with all these eyes gave him the capacity, the ability to see everything the world has to offer, which is not only good. So this guy was really down on his knees because he couldn't bear looking at everything anymore. And it's kind of this is still what I feel when I turn on the TV and listen to the news.
It's a symbol for this overwhelming what you get through the medias.
Exactly. It's a symbol of being overwhelmed by information, mass media, and everything. These are the symbols for that. And then what's happening with Ernest, though, our artist, and he's just a symbol for the artist. So what's happening with that guy, with the artist, is that he has all these beautiful thoughts inside his mind, because they're obviously young women with long hair, and there's stars among them, and he has all these beautiful thoughts, but then the little Seymour monsters are trying to pull them out, and that's why there is this big scream mouth, which is a silent scream, basically, because he's not really opening his mouth, but there's still the scream. So he's screaming because he's like, I don't want to wake up. Basically, that's the side. I don't want to wake up.